I think of technology, there is this fear factor that sets in a lot of teachers. The minute you talk technology inside a classroom, but if I go back to the ancient times and I look at the guru, they had the tools of just looking into a disciple, looked at the teacher, and information got transferred. I see a world very soon coming to that point where, maybe we don't have the kind of capabilities the gurus had at that point of time, but we definitely have technology to be able to transfer not information, but knowledge. Like Ekta just said, children know how to use information, but they don't know what to make out of it. It's not knowledge, right? So we were the first company in India anyway who brought in the digital wave where the smart class came in and of course a lot of companies followed in. But we've sort of evolved from that, just a smart board, right? When you look at who's using this tool actually, and who's going to use this in the classroom is actually the teacher. Now, when we started the smart boards, just to give you an analogy of time, when we started the smart board, the teachers were of an era where they had never used computers. There was this fear factor, that, oh my God, this piece of computer is going to take over my dominance in the classroom. And how is it going to affect the learning outcomes? Because at the end of it, you're not using technology just because it's a tool, but to see that there is a learning outcome happening in the children. So I think most of the teachers in our country have evolved through that stage. And today, if you see, with 2 decades of technologies, gradually seeping in, a lot of teachers have become very comfortable now because they have a gadget in their own homes. They have a mobile phone, they have a laptop, they may have an iPod or whatever. So it's the comfort zone of teachers to use it is happening. Just to give you one example, we run not only high-end schools, we run rural schools, which are like back of beyond. And of course, if you run schools back or beyond, the schools may be great, the infrastructure may be existing, but how does the teacher teach in the classroom? Now, for us to go and teach a teacher at a remote place means it increases the cost, and the idea of a low cost running becomes very difficult. So we used technology in teaching the teacher. How did we do that? We didn't tell her to stay back after school hours. We didn't tell her to sort of, go onto the internet, because there is no access to internet there most of the time. There is no electricity, so forget about internet happening. So what we did is we created certain teacher training modules where we embedded it into the telephone. And the teacher, while she walks from the school to her home or home to the school, takes her about 45 minutes or half an hour. She has that time. So what does she do? She actually opens her mobile and she sees these digital little capsules which will tell her exactly what she's supposed to do on the same day. That's just one example, but we're talking of future schools. I think to get into the future school, I just want to end it by saying, I'm a little skeptical about the future school because we're still living in the past. We're living today in what we should have accomplished many, many years ago. Access to every child. How can that happen? Only through technology. So I think the future will be determined by what actions we take today for today's classrooms. So if our today's classrooms can really change and have a few digital aspects, looking at it both from a teacher's perspective and from a student's learning outcome perspective, the future is fabulous.